Salve signori e signori! Rossi isn't just another DPS, she's one of the most satisfying characters to play when you get her rotation right. In this guide, I'll break down everything you need to master her, from best gear and weapons to team comps and most importantly, her full rotation step by step. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to play Rossi efficiently and squeeze out her full damage potential. Let's talk about her gear. Rossi scales with critical rate, so we have only one choice here then, MI security set. For the sake of this video, I will be using freshly crafted set without artificing. So in her kit slots we equip MI security scope T1. That is the only option and the best one since it gives us critical rate. Concerning her armor and gloves, I'm using Frontier's armor T3, and for the gloves MI security gloves T1. I saw a lot of people are wearing MI security armor T1 and Redeemer gloves. The gloves gives us just agility without secondary stat and ultimate damage bonus. But Frontier's armor T3 gives us percentage to our secondary stat, which means more raw attack for us. We are losing 1.9% ultimate damage bonus from gloves, but we get 14% attack increase from secondary attribute. In that case it is intellect, and that attack bonus directly affects our ultimate damage too. So it is just a better choice for her. So this is it for the gear. Let's check on her weapons. So this video I will be using Battle Pass weapon Glorious Memory, since I already got it maxed out. But let's talk about alternatives, precisely her signature weapon, and let's have a look at Rapid Ascent for comparison. All three weapons give us critical rate boost of 19.5% when maxed out, which is the most important stat for Rossi. But here is the difference. Rapid Ascent only gives us 132 points to main attribute, so this is agility, but Glorious Memory and Lupin Scarlet increase our agility by 156, which is 12% more to attack. As for the third weapon skill, Rapid Ascent gives us 42% to battle skill and ultimate damage, and if the enemy is staggered, it gives additionally 98%. Let's be honest, how many of you got Rapid Ascent P5? And it is only useful when the enemy is staggered. Not the best case scenario since sometimes we use ultimate while boss is not staggered. Alright, let's get to better weapons now. So Glorious Memory is Battle Pass weapon, and if you saved upgrade boxes from previous Battle Pass, you probably can have this weapon P5. So it gives us 19.6% to raw attack and 100.8 to ultimate damage when at 3 stacks. So we must have 3 stacks before using our ultimate, so in total it gives us 120.4% damage to our ultimate. But keep in mind that with that weapon our rotation will be longer compared to her signature weapon. Let's have a look at her signature. So as you can see it gives us more raw attack, but let me explain first. It will get better than Glorious Memory only after P3, which is plus 35.2% raw attack and 2.2 to hit and physical damage per stack of Woven Blood. 16 stacks times 2.2 equal 35.2% of hit and physical damage, and plus 52.8% bonus at max 16 stacks. By the way, the description says that you get stacks when Wielder skill deals critical damage, but as you can see it gives us stacks when basic attacks deal critical damage. Apparently basic attacks counts as skill damage, so all combined it will give us 123.2% to ultimate damage. But as free-to-play or almost free-to-play, do you really have it P3? In 100 pulls I just got 1, so it is not worth using for me. Alright, we are done with weapons, let's check on her skills. The priority here is her ultimate, since it is the biggest damage output. Second skill you want to master is her combo skill. It buffs our critical rate and critical damage even more. If you play Rossi as an on-field operator, you might consider her basic attack mastery, but it is not necessary and you can skip her battle skill as well. But if you can afford mastering all skills, then do it! Some extra damage is always good, right? But focus on her ultimate and combo first. Let's go next. Teammates and their gear. So, it depends on who is your teammate. I prefer playing Rossi with Anmin, Akikuri and Gilberta, but the gear actually does not change for support characters, you just need support sets. For Akikuri it is frontier set because she recovers our SP and when she does we get 16% to damage dealt. As for her weapon, it is Thermite Cutter because we get bonus attack for the whole team when she uses her ultimate. In my case it is plus 14%. As for Gilberta, we need a Terran Zeronite set since she applies susceptibility and when she does, we get 16% to damage dealt for the whole team. As for her weapon, we can use her signature delivery guaranteed if you have it, or we can use Stanza of Memorials, which will be better than her signature if you have it P5. In my case it is P3, but I don't have essences on her signature, so it is still better even at P3. If you are playing Gilberta, you must have her ultimate mastery 1 for maximum susceptibility debuff. As for Akikuri, you just need her ultimate level 9 and this is it. As for Admin, I am using Eminent Repute P2, which is plus 15% raw attack to the whole team and 30% to Admin himself. As for the set, I am using Swordmancer set on him for a little bit more stagger. Second option here will be Bonk Russia set for more damage from admin himself. Both options are valid in my opinion. So in this video I will showcase these teams, Rossi, Admin, Akikuri and Gilberta. But there are more very good options and absolutely free to play. Let's have a look at these options. So since Gilberta is not free to play and her banner is not available anymore, let's see who can substitute her. So option number 1 is Antel. But here we will need his battle skill and ultimate mastery free to get as close as possible to Gilberta. We can have 14% art susceptibility debuff on the enemy, plus 22% hit amp on Rossi. Plus we use Stanza of Memorials on him and get another raw attack boost. This is very solid option taking into consideration that Antel is 4-star character. Second option is, well, we can just substitute Gilberta with Ardelia. With her battle skill mastery free, we can get 20% arts and physical susceptibility on the enemy. Plus, if you have her signature weapon Dreams of the Starry Beach P0, we can get another debuff on the enemy, arts damage taken plus 16%. Or we can use Stanza of Memorials as well. If it is P3 and higher, it is even better than her signature. So there are many more options for her team. You can substitute admin with any vulnerability stack consumers like Pog or Dapan. You can have Perlica in your team with detonation unit P0 and you can get up to 40% arts damage taken or even more on the enemy using Perlica. As well, don't forget Rossi's brother, Wolfguard, which is more like sub DPS than support character and can deal some damage himself, and buff Rossi if you have clanable weapon. So these are free to play options, but since I'm not able to show you all of them in combat since I don't have mentioned characters leveled up, I will show you my favorite team rotation. Before we jump to the rotation, I forgot to mention that I have Rossi P2, and here's why you should aim for it too. It gives us another 7% critical rate. With the food buff, we get as close as possible to 100% critical rate, 98.6%, meaning that almost every single hit will be critical. But if I artifice critical rate of at least one in my security scope T1, I will hit 100% critical rate. In case with Umbral Monument, where you can't use food buffs, we will be at 87.2% critical rate with P2, or 80.2% without. Plus, if we artifice kids, we can have another 6.2% boost to critical rate, which will get us to 93.4. So it is up to you if you want this 7% and go for it. Honestly, I got lucky and got her P2. So yeah, let's jump to actual rotation. Keep in mind that every single boss fight is different and rotation will shift a bit with different bosses. So in case with Rhodagn we need to execute the rotation perfectly to deal maximum damage possible before phase 2. I will show you how to kill him in phase 1 later, but with food buff and a bit better gear. Now I am using gear that I showed you in teammates and gear section. When you dodge, you get some skill points back, so I am trying to dodge as much as possible, since the rotation is tight on SP. So I'm starting the rotation with preheating Final Strike, dodging his leap attack Final Strike, keep attacking and right before second Final Strike using Admin's Battle Skill, to apply first stack of vulnerability and not to waste skill point from Final Strike. Keep attacking, simultaneously use Gilberta's Battle Skill to apply Nature Infliction, Final Strike followed by 2 more Final Strikes, then used Rossi's Battle Skill to apply Razor Claw Mark on the enemy. Final Strike again to get the boss to the first stagger point. Used Rossi's Battle Skill to get second stack for our ultimate damage and Akikuri's combo skill for some skill point recovery. Next I used Akikuri's Battle Skill to convert Nature Infliction into Combustion and used Akikuri's Battle Skill again to apply Heat Infliction. That step is important. Without that infliction you can't get another stack from our weapon for our ultimate damage. Next used Rossi's, Admin's and Gilberta's combo skills, followed up by second sequence of Rossi's combo skill to apply third stack from weapon and to get buff from her combo skill. So next Gilberta's ultimate plus Akikuri's plus Rossi's plus Admin's and finishing it up with Admin's battle skill. You might ask why not to apply Admin's buff from his weapon Eminent Repute before his ultimate. So I tried, and since Admin deals a lot of damage with his battle skill and it is not enough stagger on his battle skill, so boss usually had been triggering phase 2 before I can use his ultimate, so that is why I used it vice versa. So basically this is it for the rotation. So with the same rotation and a food buff of Ginseng Mitsu on the Rossi and Jacob's Legacy on the admin, I almost killed the boss in phase 1, but that wasn't enough. So I got 1 more stanza of memorials and upgraded mine to P4, which gave me additional 1.6% to attack. As well I got Akikuri's weapon skill flow to level 4, which gave me additional 2% to attack. And as well, I upgraded Admin's weapon Eminent Repute to level 6 for his main attribute and level 6 to physical damage boost. And that was more than enough to one-shot Rhodagn in phase 1. There was a little tweak in the rotation. I think I had just 1 more final strike on the boss and I used Admin's battle skill before his ultimate. Now I will let you just watch it with rotation shown on screen. Here we go. Rhodagn killed under 1 minute, As I mentioned before, it is a little bit tricky to use Glorious Memory because it affects only our ultimate damage, and we should have 3 stacks before we use our ultimate. So that makes our rotation longer. You can use Rossi's signature weapon with maximum essences at P0. It will deal a little bit less damage, but it is easier to execute rotations because you don't need to worry about stacks. So when playing Rossi, before her ultimate we need to have 3 stacks from our weapon plus buff from her combo skill, Combustion, Razor Claw Mark, and Susceptibility from Gilberta on the enemy. All combined gives us a lot of damage. This is a perfect scenario where we will deal maximum damage just with Rossi. But every boss fight is different, as for example with Ron Yi, I managed to one-shot him in phase 1 even without 3 stacks from the weapon because he's just squishier than Rhodagn and he moves a lot, so I needed to seize the moment and go for big damage when I had a chance. That's everything you need to know to play Rossi efficiently. If this guide helped you, feel free to drop a like and subscribe, and let me know if you want guides on other Enfield operators. Arrivederci amici miei!